Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those that are new, welcome. On this channel, I like to walk you through a day in my life as a tech founder here in Seattle. So for today's agenda, it is actually a light day today, thank goodness. I already went to the gym. So number one, I have a meeting with an agency. Number two, I have a meeting with a podcaster who is interested in learning more about what we're building. Number three, I am going to be doing a lot of admin stuff. Whenever I say I'm doing a lot of admin stuff, it basically means customer discovery, working on the newsletter, reaching out to potential customers or potential users, developing partnerships. And for this week's challenge of the week, I wanted to talk about recruitment, challenges that I've been facing for the past week, what that means for Eon, for our launch, and what I'm doing about that challenge that I've been facing. So if you are interested in learning more about that, stick around. Good evening. It is cold. It is cold. It is 4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. Morning.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be important.
I am rushing, not because I'm late. Actually, it's about 4:30 right now. I have a meeting at 5 with a podcaster, and I wanted to make sure that I was in a more private space that is not as loud. And I don't like using the WeWork cubicles. So decided to just go home and have that meeting at home. So guys, I am back in the apartment and I'm about to have my meeting with Tyson in 2 minutes. So yeah, let's get into this meeting. I am good, thank you. How are you, Tyson? Hey guys, so we've made it to that section of the day, which is challenge of the week. So the challenge of the week this week has been very intense. So it has to do with my team, and this time around I'm only going to focus on the designer. And I hired this individual abroad, and this individual lied to me. You may call it omission, but intentional omission to me is lying. So this individual told me that they didn't have any commitments and that they were willing to start full-time. They started full-time for my company. Along the way, about 2.5 weeks in, I confronted the individual to ask point blank, tell me, and I want you to think very carefully before you answer, tell me the truth, are you working for somebody else? And they admitted to having another full-time job after signing a contract that told them that they were full-time at Eon and they could not work for any other company during their full-time employment. I noticed that the individual wasn't delivering on their full-time role as a product designer. They were producing a UI UX design, and these designs were based on my IP. So I already had existing designs, so they just had to redesign it. And that's just a portion. For those of you that are familiar with what product designers do, that is literally 1/10 or even 1/20th of what a product designer actually does. So I noticed that even basic tasks like using our task management system, inputting the tasks that they were doing for the week or the day, they couldn't even do that. And I suspected the only reason why somebody wouldn't is if they were working somewhere else. I noticed on LinkedIn that they were at this time listed as working for 2 companies. So that's when I took it up on myself to confront them. They admitted it, showed no remorse. They lied to me, borderline pathological. It was incredible to me, the entire situation. They lied about being sick. I was able to, again, bust them on that. One thing maybe that people may not like or might find annoying about me, I'm very detail oriented. I'm very good at big picture. Usually somebody, it's either big picture or they're detail oriented. I am both. So I like to think more like big picture, but I also pay attention to the little pieces of information. So I found this information. I made my decision over the weekend. At first I was thinking of honoring the month's salary because I like the quality of the individual's work. And I felt that with a warning, they would be able to shape up. But they lied about getting sick. I was able to find out because during the time I was canceling a meeting that we were in, they asked to move our design review to the next day. At the time, they turned on their camera, which they usually don't do in our meetings, and now I understand why. I was able to see that they were in a full office. And that was the following day, subsequent to them admitting they were working for somebody else. But the kicker was the fact that they told me that they were sick, they were not feeling well, and not able to go through a meeting. Yeah, nonetheless, long story short, I made a decision that I wasn't going to pay them a full salary, and instead I'll pay them a cut of the salary. This also was after I spoke to one of my friends who comes from the same country, decided to take some of his advice as well. This individual took it up on themselves to hold the work hostage, which means they took the Figma designs. Now, of course, at that point, I was not only disappointed by some of the things that they had said and just the amount of lies that followed subsequently of accusations that weren't true. I was so confused by what was happening. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing and what I was hearing. The only time I've ever seen such level of pathological behavior was during my MBA with my roommates. That was the only time. Luckily, the individual's country did sign the New York Convention, which means I could go after them in their home country. I informed the individual that I'm not going to pay them more than half, right? I gave them alternative solutions, like doing this as a contract work, which they seem to prefer. I also informed the individual that I am not really going to change my mind. If they go for the salary option, it's gonna be half. And then I clearly stated to them that what they're holding is my company's IP, whether they are here with the company or they're not, whether they had been paid, because they're refusing the salary, right? So that has nothing to do with the fact that the IP still belongs to the company. We went back and forth. Ultimately, the individual agreed to do half of the amount. The individual then went on to insist that I pay them first before they can release my company's design. I had to put my foot down at that point, gave them 3 options, and ultimately the individual picked one of the 3 options. The reason why I share this is to let you know that these situations and scenarios do happen, especially when you're trying to hire abroad. What I learned from the situation is that yes, sometimes you can be lucky and find the right people and it can work. And I have proven that with my first platform that I built. I hired engineers in Kenya. One of them didn't end up working out, but 2 of them worked out. But the second time around, of course, I went to a different country. It didn't work so well, because the reality is that no matter how good a place or a people, even here in the US or anywhere else, there are always good and bad apples. And sometimes through no fault of your own, you just find them. But you can reduce that risk. So what I have learned is that the best way to really mitigate such a risk is to find a local partner that is willing to work with you. Now, a local partner could be a development agency, or it could be a recruitment agency. The second this incident happened, I already started looking for backup. I was already thinking, okay, if not A, then B, if not B, C, then if not C, D. That's literally how my brain works. So I am never really too reliant on one outcome, because things can go wrong. And so I'm usually very nimble, and not naturally, that is exactly how I was able to bounce back. So I'm still back on track. But that situation, I felt like I needed to share it because it could really save some of you guys a lot of heartache and a lot of stress. I hope you enjoyed this week's day in a life video and you've learned something. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. Put them in the comment section below. If you have had a similar experience, put it in the comments. If you like this video and feel like others can benefit from this video, give it a thumbs up, share it. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. See you next week.